The Liz Warren Express steamrolling through Iowa with the new poll showing the Massachusetts senator surging ahead of the 2020 Democratic pack in the Hawkeye state. The new Des Moines Register survey shows Warren in the lead with a commanding 22%. That's 2 points over sleepy Joe Biden. He's snoozing there in second place. Oh, Joe. Bernie Sanders has fallen behind to 11%. No other candidate is in double digits. So will Warren's momentum last? Her opponents are piling on the pressure, accusing her of dancing around how she's going to pay for Medicare for all. And they say they want to know if she's going to raise taxes on the middle class. Will she be able to continue to blow off that question and stay in the lead until the Iowa caucuses in February? Joining me now to discuss, GOP pollster and WPAi Intelligence CEO Chris Wilson is back. I think that she is by far the most fascinating story of 2020 and this Democratic field, because everyone else has fizzled, and she's the only person who's been able to sustain her momentum. Other candidates, they spike and then they drop almost as quickly. You look at Kamala Harris, she did the exact same thing. You know, Bernie Sanders has kind of plateaued. Pete Buttigieg, he was interesting for a while, but what is it about Liz Warren? What is she doing differently?
Well, I don't know that we know this is a sustained spike. I mean, she's got the spike right now, but does it last? I'll remind you that going into the Christmas season in 2016, Ben Carson led the Republican primary, according to the Des Moines Register poll.
President Carson,
the last poll, before you make a President Cruz joke, had Senator Cruz, or actually had Donald Trump in the lead going into, It was the Saturday before the Monday caucus. And of course he lost. Senator Cruz won the Iowa caucuses in 2016. So two things about that. One is these polls go up and down. They're not indicative of anything that happens. Two, Iowa is only the first of a long marathon of contests that all it does, it kind of works as an elimination round.
Don't you wish they would mix up the states?
No,
if we're going to keep the electoral college, wouldn't it be great if they had a lottery the night before and then you knew that the next day was polling day?
No, I don't like that idea.
I think it'd be great.
But thanks for trying. No, I think look, Iowa does a good job and they take their role seriously. And I don't think anybody else would take it as serious as they do. In New Hampshire, it's a close second. So the way it works, I think, works for democracy. And the Iowa voter is very meticulous and litigious in the way in which they make their decisions.
Sure.
And to give you an example of that.
It's a caucus state. It's not a primary state.
It is a caucus state, so they have to devote their time and effort to it. And a third of those voters who've caucused for Bernie Sanders that were polled in 2016 are voting for Elizabeth Warren in this most recent poll. And I think what that shows.
What is it about her, though? Because Bernie had this impenetrable love shield. And he all of his supporters, he held so tightly to his bosom that he would not share that data
with the
Democratic Party. But Liz Warren and I've talked to people who were Bernie fans who are like, you know what? I think she'd actually make a better president.
I think it's her Native American background. I think that's really what's pulling people in. No, I think what it is you can only be an insurgent once, and that's what Bernie Sanders is losing. It's also, you only really have 2 lanes right now in the Democratic primary. You have a socialist lane, a far left lane, and you have a moderate lane. And right now you have a fight that's gone on between Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, and Warren is winning. Like I said, a third of the Sanders voters have flipped over to it. Kamala Harris tried to make a play of that lane. I think you're going to see her go into that moderate lane. Though. It was clumsy. And you're going to have everybody else kind of fighting over who's able to overtake Bernie.
When she tries to become a moderate again, it's going to be very inauthentic and disingenuous. And I think Elizabeth Warren only has to make minor tweaks to her platform. And she can say, nope, I told you so. Just read this one paper that I released 14 months ago.
I've got
a plan. This is exactly what was in there. And I think that's also what naturally prepares her for the debates, because Kamala Harris has to rely on a gimmick and a moment, but Elizabeth Warren can sit back, let other people fall apart, and then answer something articulately. I disagree with her completely. I respect the game she's playing right now.
I agree that she has played a good game. It's a good game in a Democratic primary. But the problem is it's a horrible game for a general election. I think she may be their weakest candidate.
Yes, when she has to answer some of those tough questions to farmers and parents who are trying to save money, who cannot afford another gut punch of another tax hike, she's not going to be able to
Which is what
this
poll helps. This poll helps her make the electability argument. Right now, the Democrats looking for over anything else is someone who can beat Donald Trump. And Joe Biden, that's why he continues to lead in every other state besides Iowa right now. That's why he maintains a national lead, is because he's able to make the argument that he can beat Donald Trump. Elizabeth Warren now can point up this Iowa poll and say, look, I can beat him too. And that allows her to start to move.
There was the Monmouth poll as well. I mean, this poll the Elizabeth Warren surge is no longer an outlier. This is now, there's a little bit more consistency, and I think that's where polling is helpful.
So is she able to maintain it is the question.
Yeah,
is she able to maintain it? Is she able to grow it into other states? Is she able to grow it into an activist base?
I'm wondering who the president wants to run against. I wonder if he'd rather run against Liz Warren or Joe Biden. What do you
I don't think there's any question in Elizabeth Warren.
Interesting.
Zero question at all.
All right, well, maybe he'll devote some time and money to her campaign.
That's why he keeps going after Joe Biden, even though he's sinking.
Yeah, Chris Wilson, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kenny.